Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our third episode in our branding mini series this week in the Guidebook Greenroom. And as we promised, we were going to be bringing in a guidebooker who not only has a big role to play in our EDU space, but has also got a lot of EDU experience themselves. So, Danielle, firstly, thanks for joining us this week and tell us a little bit about your experience in higher ed.
Well, thank you both for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I actually started my higher ed journey when I was still in college. So I worked in the Office of Admissions as a student worker. I did tours, I did mailers, I did all the stuff, what feels like yesterday as well as many moons ago. And then continued to work in admissions for the last 10, 12 years. I worked in the admissions office doing open houses and all the fun stuff that comes with reviewing applications and everything in between, travel, all of that. And then moved into Guidebook a while ago, and now I get to work with everyone that's doing the open houses and travel and orientations and all that fun stuff that comes with EDU.
I love that. I'm so excited for you to be in the green room with us so we get to learn from your wealth of experience, kind of on the student side and on the kind of like would be our buyers, right? And then now as a salesperson, I think the multifaceted perspective that you bring to all these conversations is really, really meaningful. Let's get into it. This is our branding mini series. I'd love to hear from you, Danielle, for higher education specifically. Why is brand important? What does brand mean in this context?
Honestly, brand is everything. And brand is everything for externally, like what it looks like, but also brand is everything in how you target your students and what you're looking for. So, brand for our institutions could be what they're known for. That could be athletics. You know, when you think about big colleges, it's like, oh, their football team, their basketball team, but it's also their engineering department and their med schools and communications, whatever department it is, that can be a brand that they're identifying as, and that's what students want. Can be their legacy. You know, who went there first, whether it's an internal legacy because mommy and dad went there, or it's some amazing alum went there, John Glenn, and they went to the moon and you want to be an astronaut. So brand really is how schools can continue to build, grow, bring in students. And then in addition, branding can just be what they do, what they have to offer communities, how they bring people together. There's every school's known for something different, which is what I think is really exciting about schools. They have something different to offer, and it allows students to really find their place and where they're supposed to be.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. I love the way you've kind of articulated all the different ways in which schools can think about brand, leverage their brand, but also how people perceive their brand. And I think that is always an important thing to consider when we talk about brand, especially. And I'm curious, you mentioned there you're in the admissions department, and obviously now you're on the other side of that. Thinking of brand specifically, I guess when we kind of drill down into higher ed events and orientation tours, whatever it may be, like how are schools thinking about branding for those events? What are the client's goals? How does branding come into play in those specific moments for schools?
So there's a few things that I think go into it. It's the first experience sometimes that students are having with the school. So for so long, maybe a student envisioned going to a school and then they get there and it's not what they think. On the flip side, it's everything that they dreamed it would be. It is seeing the colors of blue and white and envisioning yourself in that shirt. It is looking through the schedule and starting to visualize yourself there. So that is such a great opportunity for schools to really present the first time that these students are on campus and bring them into their community to continue to grow their community.
I love the example that you gave there of picturing myself wearing that t-shirt, right? I think a lot of us can resonate with that idea. Digging more into the specifics of Guidebook, what are some specific features or tools that a mobile app solution can offer to your clients in achieving those branding goals?
So I find this really interesting, coming from, as I said many moons ago, the world of walking tours and mailers and holding envelopes and putting the stamp on. That world, ironically, is very expensive now and somewhat archaic in a sense. And when you present an app to students, not only does it ideally save the department some money, but it also just makes the students and the experience feel like they're coming up to times with the students. So when you're getting paper and it's chaotic, suddenly if you get a push notification that something's changed, you're just like, they get it. The technology is here, and technology is what these students are used to. So being able to present, their orientation or an open house in a way, in a format that they're used to navigating, um, just is a great look. And
Yeah,
then in
absolutely.
addition to that, not only is it a good look, just here's the features, here's what we're looking at, but every feature that we offer can be personalized. It can be customized. So we talked about blue and white before. It's not just blue and white for schools. It's navy blue. It's not just orange. It's burnt orange. It's blue and gold. It's not blue and yellow. Man, I'm a zip. We are blue and gold. You put yellow on there, we're talking another school. No, so the opportunity to really hone into who you are to make those students feel at home from the get-go is what branding's for and what we can offer them on Guidebook.
Yeah, absolutely. I really hear you on like the specific shade of blue because I live in North Carolina and I am a Duke alum. And if you talk to me about Carolina blue, that's something else entirely. So going back into um, having a branded app, I think there were a couple of things that you touched on that resonated with me, which was the reach, right? Like the phone's in your pocket, the app is there. You're not having to shuffle through the mail and find that program or that postcard that you stuck on your fridge. It's already there, right? And then the recognition piece by having your branded app, by having your colors as your custom theming, customizing your icons. So like every little piece of the digital tool is an extension of the campus. I think that's really important to highlight. And all of that serves effective messaging. All that serves um, making people feel like they're part of the community, making them feel like they belong on campus. But my question for you, touching on printing costs and touching on the efficacy, like the outcomes of those reach, how how do your clients measure success of their branding efforts? Like, are there metrics that they're looking at? Are there KPIs that Guidebook can lock into? How do you know it's working?
It's a great question. And I think there's a few different ways that institutions are looking at it and a few different areas that are important to different institutions. So, in general, being able to see how many downloads just really showcases the sheer volume of people that are going into the guide. Great. They went there, downloaded it. 75% of our students, 85% of our attendees downloaded it. You know that they're driving there in some way, shape, or form, whether it's from the get-go or continue to go in it. So I think that initial, okay, great, people are downloading it, wonderful. But then the metrics that we offer of being able to really get insights to the day, I think is where it gets critical and people really see the return on investment, not only for just a financial investment. So great, we downloaded this or we had this, students downloaded it, they went to it, they attended the sessions, great. But it also allows people to revamp their day. Maybe a session that they thought was an incredible idea. Great idea. Everyone's going to go there. Everyone wants to know about financial aid. They can't wait to learn about this. And then 3 of 150 people show up that they thought would show up. Well, guess what? Let's revamp that. Let's make it more enticing to go. Let's find a different time of the day. Let's eliminate it and put something else in that spot. So not only do you see if people are in it and using it, but you then can revamp your day to really target your audience that's going to be attending your day.
I love that. I mean, I love anytime we start thinking about how analytics can shape, you know, how people are thinking about their event planning and all of the kind of components that go with it. And I really feel like, Danielle, we could talk for a long time to you about the higher ed space, branding, and a lot of other things. And I know we're almost up on time. So first is to say thanks for coming in today and sharing a lot of that. I think from my side, just hearing about the way you connected the dots from how organizers are thinking about the brand, but how it really impacts students, parents, families, those people who are downloading the app and are going to get that sense and feel, I think just demonstrates the importance of that in the higher ed space. So, hey, it was good to have you. I think we should pin you down now live that you're going to come back and speak to us again about other things.
I will happily come back and join the green room in my green room.
You are
Yes.
the only one who's actually in a green room. I appreciate you being on brand for our YouTube series. Well, also to echo Nathan's sentiments, I hope that you'll rejoin us. I really appreciate you, again, sharing your expertise, sharing your perspective. And I hope everyone hears the passion you have for the work that you do and the communities you serve. I think that's really important in the education space. Sure, yeah, like the school is a business, but also we're here to nurture community, right? That's what Guidebook is about, and that's what our higher ed professionals here on our staff are about. So thanks again for just kind of bringing your energy. It's very revitalizing. Um, and for next week, we are going to bring a Guidebook client into the green room and hear more about their experiences, not only what it's like to deploy a branded app, but why, right? Like, what are they trying to do? And again, how do they know it's working? What's meaningful about that approach? So we'll see you guys then.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks.